pt.82. Hey folks, we're live. Where's my face gone? I've lost my face. 2 seconds, let's find where my face is. I have a feeling I know. Yeah, the camera's there. Where's the face? What is going on? Might have to be faceless stream. Camera's not kicking in for some reason. Very odd. Let's see what else is running. Don't know what that is. Let's close that. Yeah, might have to be a faceless stream. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Cool. We'll use the cutout then. Oh man, they'll face instead. We'll just hide the border there. Okay, and we'll switch over to that. Cool, we'll do it like this today. No idea what's going on. Apparently my camera doesn't want to work. Cool, oh well, never mind. We'll do it faceless, we'll be a PNG streamer today. Right. Apologies for the later start, had some things to sort out. Now try and fix the stream. Encoding overloaded. Turn down settings. What is going on? It's probably because I tried to restart Discord. I think this PC is barely hanging on by a thread. Right, we'll get through it. We'll get through it. We shall survive. Let's make sure the monitoring is on. That is good. Cool. Right, okay, so we haven't done a Unity stream for a little while, so I thought, you know what, let's do one today. Because there's going to be no stream this current Friday, so there'll be another week without Unity. So what we were doing last time, we were detaching this UI element, this kind of this canvas, everything on the canvas we were detaching from having direct link to the to the rest of it really. So the idea being that this can be removed and re-added and nothing will break. Before we do that, let's get some tunes, get some music, give some motivation. Saxophone. We like saxophones. How's that looking on the... Yeah, there we go. Let's go with that. Should just be in the background. I am happy with that. Okay, let's get my monitoring back up. Awesome. So I recall we were looking at the power slider, the sort of power gauge on the side here. So I want that to be able to be independent. So I think we were trying to work out. So did we actually achieve that? Did we? Because the power slider has itself plus the UI controls, which is good. I think that's detached at that point. This part itself doesn't have any coding. It is just an image. Just an image there. So power slider itself. Oh yeah, we're taking away the value change here because it can't be changed via a mouse. I want to say we're okay with that. Let's open up the project, the C# project. And wait for that to open. Drink the rest of my cold tea. Lovely. You always prefer a nice warm tea. At the very least, hot tea if I have to be in a rush, but nice warm tea is good. Cold tea is not great, but cold tea is better than no tea. So the thing I find of the American kind of tradition, so to speak, of having sweet tea, and sweet tea is not necessarily warm. It is just a refreshing beverage. Jeffrey, I think I found it. Awesome! You think you fixed it, sorry. I think you fixed it. Yeah, you're already doing more complicated things than I knew, so I knew you could get there. I sell emotes, sell the best emotes. Oh, Visual Studio has been updated to 17.14. Jeffrey, that one was Lisa. We're both on the account. Cool, cool. Hello, Jeffrey. Hello, Lisa. Good to speak to you. Glad you are working through. But yeah, yes, now I is here. It's like having two personalities in one head, isn't it? But yeah, so ChatGDP is I'm gonna stream Jake. Thank you. Yeah, my camera won't work. Just won't engage. I don't know what the issue is. Like if I switch my camera on, it's just blank. Yesterday I wrote about the Lego Game Boy set. I was really impressed with it. Almost looks like a really good Game Boy. Yes, I'm tempted to get that. I'm tempted, you know. It's an icon. It's an icon of gaming, and certainly an icon of sort of portable gaming. Like, portable gaming wasn't really a thing until the original Game Boy was popularized. So it's an icon, and it's amazing. Lego has immortalized it as a model. I do want to say that the last two mistakes I fixed without ChatGPT. Nice, well done. See what you're doing there is you're learning to code and learning to make stuff kind of by diving into a deep end and go, well, you flail about and you kind of understand how to float and swim. You might not know the reasons behind it, but you know how to look for a fix. And being able to look for a fix is one of the biggest skills you need. Because if you look at it and you stare blankly and go, I don't know, why is it broken? Please somebody help me. And you just kind of give up. Because you need to have those skills to know what help you need and asking ChatGPT for that help. Knowing how to even use ChatGPT is a good skill. But yeah, the first key thing to do is knowing how to look for help. Once you have that, all the information is out there. It's like learning how to use a library in order to find a book. If you don't know how to use a library, all those books can't help you. C# while doing Python for weeks feels like reading German speaking Dutch. I recognise most, but kind of different, yeah. These days, most languages are so similar that it's kind of like a convergent evolution of what works in a language. And some of your language have been merged and borrowed. And I say Python is borrowed from C, C# is borrowed from C. So they've got the same ancestor, both Python and C#. So they've come from the same point and they've branched out two different directions, but not too far away. So I can understand it being quite sort of, yeah, learning that, okay, it's very close but not quite, and then there's so many other languages that are very similar as well that I've not even bothered to look at. Temple OS is written Holy See, made up by the dude himself. See, that's just wholly unnecessary. But if you're really that determined to write something from the very scratch, you write your own language and then you write it. It was insane, yes. Right, we don't need to know what's new. It's probably not going to affect my life. Better code with reviews with AI. Oh, Visual Studio can actually use AI to review your code more. Cool. It was insane, yeah. Let's minimize that code down there. Yeah, I wouldn't mind learning C++. Break into your house and replace all the OS with Temple OS. Yeah, that's really how to punish somebody. That is. It's not sending somebody to prison. It's sentencing them to only using Temple OS. I remember a while back it was joked that a punishment would be to install Windows Vista on someone's computer. I honestly didn't mind Windows Vista. It was a proof of concept. It wasn't a real operating system. It was a proof of concept trying to be an operating system. And Windows 7 was the actual finished product. This isn't that bad. I just get furious as you put into my computer. Yes. Yeah, Windows 8 was the Vista of modern times. Yeah, Vista was the trial for Windows 7. And Windows 8 was the trial for Windows 10. No, scrap that. Windows 8 was just a failure. There's nothing to take from Windows 8. Well, Windows 8.1 was a proof of concept for Windows 10. Windows 8, absolutely write-off. Yeah, here's a tablet OS for your PC. I don't have a touchscreen. Windows, stop fucking me. Yeah, like the whole solution Microsoft went for was one OS for your tablet, mobile, and PC in one. Why have any other OS? Just switch between them. Like, no, I do not want big colourful squares on my screen. I want a desktop. So okay, here's a desktop, but you can't have a start menu anymore. Well, so you mean all my programs are colourful squares? I have to find the right colourful square to load the program. How is that efficient, Microsoft? And then yeah, Windows 8.1, they basically put it back to how Windows 7 worked. And then just made a whole brand new operating system with Windows 10. No errors so far. Is loading quite long on linking builds.js. Oh. Hopefully that's just kind of just loading all the scripts in. Because the .js files could be JavaScript. So I think that's just for building. Fingers crossed. It's a 44 gig build. Wow. That's big. 44 gig. How big is this project? Let's find out how big this Revolt Overthrow is. I honestly don't know. Can't be too big, I don't think. Just scanning the folder now. It's a 1.7. But there's not a lot going on in this. It's just that little thing down there, a few buildings, and some UI graphics. I suspect Moongate Mage will be quite larger, quite a bit larger. But I've never tried to do a web app web game before. There'll be something to try, and I might have to be asking you questions about how to make a web experience. But it's certainly ambitious. I commend you for diving right in and go, yes, I want to do this, I'm going to do this. Nothing can stop me. And that's kind of what you need, really. Like this is like, well, it can't be that hard, let's just give it a go. And just trying, and just keep trying until it works. Now, I'm tempted to copy this scene and then delete this to see what happens. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's go to scenes. Can we unload the scene? Let me unload the scene. Let's copy it. Open scene, additive, import, export. I think to do this last time I basically have to go into the... Oh, there's... edit show. Yeah, I think I have to go into... There's no duplicate, is there? Yeah, show in Explorer. But I can make a new scene and bring everything over, I suppose. Let's try that. Let's go create a scene. Scene template would be useful. Let's go scene. So UI test. Let's do this. New scene called UI test. Let's open that. Can we delete the camera and delete the direction of that? Ooh, very sunsetty. Let's go back to level 1. Copy all of that. Go into test and paste. Cool. We now have this scene. So if we try run this scene, just want to see if it works first. Oh, interesting, the timer's not working. Well, the time doesn't work. Timer holder. So it's game values. I'm now myself again. Still in Windows though. Cool. My own Windows. I'm going to, on this test, I'm now going to delete the canvas. There's no canvas, but it's still a game. Will it run? And I'll see what crashes. Delegate helper. Ah. Not quite what I had in mind. So object reference is not set to instance of object. Do I hear smooth jazz music? Yes. Watching some jazz. Yeah, I'll post the video I'm listening to currently. No, 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 no. Under the tortured sky. No, I don't care. On stream we listen to this. I shall skip listening to Under a Tortured Sky much. No. Grey Horizon. 24-hour song. It's good. If you do, I will be cross and sad. If you don't, I'll be happy. It's good. I'm sure it's good. Today is about jazz. Ah, this is what we want. Aha, so hide controls. If I also own a black snapback with orange brim. Oh, there's Dragon Ball on it though. Oh, nice. Right, so this is just error handling. So if it can't find this, it needs to be able to carry on without it. So it's a good way of actually catching errors by purposely deleting something. So this makes an assumption that there is a UI. Sounds familiar. Yeah, so this line of code makes the assumption that there is something in my game called UI_controls. Well, something specifically called UIC, which is a UI_controls. But because I've deleted it for this test, it goes, ah, can't find it, error. So I need to put a try around that. You liked David Bowie shirt? I bought it along with Whitechapel CD, Cannibal Corpse CD, and Ozzy Osbourne gloves for Lisa. Nice. Yeah, it's a cool shirt. I wouldn't have thought you'd have a David Bowie shirt actually. Sure, people are like, the fuck is his music taste actually? No, I wouldn't have thought you would wear a David Bowie shirt. But you do have a good taste in music. That David Bowie, nice. Can we turn this to a try get? Try get components, out components. Okay, so that needs to be, so in there needs to be UIC, and this needs to return a password. Oh, out. Is that right? So I can put this into an if statement now. So if I go if, and we actually want this inside the if, so we grab that, change the true to that, and then we put this line inside the if. Right, so what this does, it goes, looks for game objects, finds a game object with the tag UIC, it will try to get a component which is a UI underscore controls and put it into the variable UIC. If this is successful, it returns a true. If it is true, then don't basically hide the play controls. If it's not true, don't bother. By the way, did you know that Lego has special MRI sets to help hospital calm children? Yes, I saw that earlier in this week. I think a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday. Saw it pop up on my my Instagram. If I ever need that MRI scan, they need to buy a new one. I piss and shit. It's beyond repair. Oh dear. A friend of mine asked me if I wanted to write a game for gaming entertainment platform. Oh. Is that why? That is why I now know about Lego stuff. Awesome. Claustrophobia runs heavy in this one. Ah. Yeah, sorry to hear that. It's not a good feeling. I get mild claustrophobia. I don't get full-on kind of panic from it. But I do start to kind of get like a mild anxiety from claustrophobic situations. Very claustrophobic. Yeah, sorry to hear that. I don't want to go into elevators unless I have to go really high. Oh, yeah. I suppose you kind of weigh up your options. You go, well, do I want to walk up all these stairs, or brave it for sort of this time just to get there? But no, I'm fortunate. I don't kind of deal with it that badly, but I can understand the feeling. Go check back on Unity. Awesome. But this is kind of what I'm doing here is it's kind of like a, what would you call it? It's kind of an extreme way of doing things, like purposefully doing something you know will break the game in order to find out where the breaks are. So if you want to do some error checking, error handling, okay. Say you have a game with a hero that holds a sword, but at some point the hero might not hold the sword or lose the sword. You're going to want to delete the sword and then see how the game handles not having a sword. And then if the game handles you not having a sword, putting the sword back in, goes great. I know that if it loses the sword, it's not going to have a problem. Like floor 3 plus, counting ground floor, so floor 1 is floor upstairs, yes. Still running just fine, nice. Started to like King Diamond from now on. Blind Guardian and Hammerfall 2, awesome. Jeffrey is allowed to play him out loud in the house now. Nice. Nice, I'll remember this. Right, so I've saved that code. Right, make sure that stops. I'm gonna save again and then try and rerun it. Because the cool thing is the code is universal. The scene is not. Ah. Okay. What is my next error? Still another instance of object. So try get components. It's probably the find. Can I change that to a try find? So maybe I've got the wrong end here. So find object. Might have to double check. What's it going to be? So find object by tag. If not found. Maybe it needs to find it first, grab the object. If there's no object returned, then we carry on. Respawns for each respawns. Cool. Yeah, let's do that. I like Silver Vein now, by the way, and also Queen. Right, let's change this around. So what is respawns in this? Respawn is a game object array. Cool. Game object. Let's call it U. None of these things be true. Let's try it this way. So U equals that looks a little bipolar, not gonna lie. And it's actually Jeffrey. I'm going to put on some Queen now, actually. since there is one song I like. So I'm going to listen to it. I want it all. Nice. So I can probably make this better. Jeffrey's favourite Queen song is Bohemian Rhapsody. It's just nice glam metal banger in my opinion. The rest I hate. Bohemian Rhapsody still makes me foam at the mouth when I hear it. But I Want It All's nice. Yeah. Well, I like most Queen stuff. But I Want It All's got a good vibe to it. Right. Gonna rerun it. I hate Queen. Right, so go if again. Ah, awesome. If that does not equal null. Do that. Okay. We're getting somewhere now. We're getting somewhere. I have a hard time finding music Jeffrey hates that I like, by the way. I guess I just have better taste in music. I suppose that's a good thing. You're certainly compatible with most of your music tastes, and it's okay to like different things. Like there's music I like that Phoenix Nix doesn't, and to be honest, I like most of the music that Nix likes. Ah, there we go. Look at this. I can play the game without a UI now, and there's no errors. Fuck it, time for some real music. Porn grind. So I'm going to try and finish the level without a UI. I like a lot of music, even normal music like Porn Grind. Just not weird stuff like King Diamond. I don't have any cock and ball torture in my list. I need to change that. Torso fuck vanilla. You gotta love the alternative band names because they. Yeah, we need to change that. And it's gonna be extremely hard because I don't have the power gauge on the left hand side to tell me how much power I'm applying, nor do I have the hints button to help me find any of the missing squares. Rectal Smector is also a great band from the Netherlands. That's a great name, that is. Most album covers are very gross, but one of them I actually like a lot. I'll send you. Cool. I think I'll go everything on that side. Looks like most of them. There might be one over here though. Nice. Okay, see if we get any errors on the level completion. No, okay. So I've effectively disconnected the UI from the game. Awesome. So I can delete this test scene and I can go back to the project knowing the code will work even without the UI. Once in a couple of days I'm in a Red Hot Chili Pepper mood. That always takes between 30 seconds and 2 minutes to change into Faith No More. Never falls. You could ask why not skip Red Hot Chili Peppers? I don't know either. Literally every time I'm in the Red Hot Chili Pepper mood. Around 30 seconds later my brain's like, this is just boring version of Faith No More, change it now. That's fair. Ah, that's a cute album cover. I just love that the band name scored in front of it. Yeah, I like the Chili Peppers. Sort of, I like the funkiness of the music. The lyrical content doesn't really do a lot for me. Yeah, you expect worse from Porn Grind Band, eh? They behave for once. Yeah. Don't like Red Hot Chili Peppers anymore after I know the singer is pedo. Ooh, yeah. There's a, these bands. Danny California is one of their first songs I listen on bass. Oh, they're on bass. Nice. It's just ruined, yeah. It's you got these bands these musicians that produce good music that you like, but then they go and do shit like that. My pattern would win a fight from Anthony Kiedis. Yeah. This 100%. Yeah, there's a couple of things that would make me dislike artists. Dating kids is one. Yeah. The thing is, I've heard the excuse, and it's not really an excuse. That so, if you're a musician, fans are gonna idolize you, and maybe even sexually idolize you. But no matter what their age is, that's not a line you should be crossing. Certainly if they're underage. I agree, yeah. Now, it's very easy for a fan to get caught up and go, well, this guy is hot, he plays music, I like the music, I would like to do things with him. And it's up to the musician to go, your feelings aren't sort of necessarily true. You might be feeling for other reasons, and I'm not in a position to determine that. But it's the same as, like, generally, like, if a guy, same like myself, if a guy like myself sort of gave off some sort of vibe to a younger woman who said, okay, this guy seems quite attractive, I'm going to flirt with him, I'm going to kind of try and make advances, and go, well, if that person's too young, you go, well, I can't in good conscience take that offer up. So they may very well say, well, I am certain in my mind that I am happy with this decision, and go, well, I'm not. It's not my place to do that, and so it's my place to be, well, I know what is morally better, and we should stick to that. Saw footage of Faith No More playing with James Hetfield on second guitar, and Ozzy Osbourne and Young MC on additional vocals for songs. That was an epic concert. Too bad I wasn't there. Also, too bad I was like -2 it was, and it was in the US. Yeah. So all the cool stuff happened before you were old enough to even actually attend. You should abuse the idolization. Is that the word? Yeah. You shouldn't abuse the idolization. Because yeah, it happens like in any it's an imbalance of power. Like, somebody with power might be idolized by somebody who does not have power, and typically that somebody without the power is also younger. And it's a person's responsibility with power to be considerate and aware of those who could idolize them. And it could be anything. It could be like a teacher in a school and a student idolizes them. While they are in that situation, there's a risk that idolization could occur. When they're no longer in a position that they could be idolized, then there's a clearer head on both sides. It's still a bit iffy, say, if a student idolizes a teacher and then they leave school when they're older and still have feelings for that teacher. It's still very odd, because those feelings could still be left over. I've heard of instances with the schools I've gone to where that has happened. They have left the school and they were ex-student teacher. I don't know how long it lasted for, but that just feels wrong to me. But then equally, there's teachers that were teachers at my school that didn't wait until they left school, and those teachers that now have criminal records. And you look back and go, yeah, I had a weird vibe about that teacher. I'm not surprised to hear about them on the news. Okay, I'm gonna save this and give this level a test again. In theory, it should work fine. So we've not done anything to change the turn that music off. Now we have it. Cool. I'm happy that's not connected. What we do need to do is change that button there to say controls maybe. Although a button saying controls would suggest it's going to show you what the controls are. What's going to be a concise, short way of saying this will show you on-screen controls? Maybe touch controls? Yeah, it might be touch controls. Considering this could be played on a tablet or mobile, it's going to be touch controls. Unless I make the button bigger to kind of have show and then controls. I could have a little graphic in the bottom corner that shows the AD and I suppose I can have AD and spacebar above these buttons initially, and when you touch those it will then hide them. So if I push any other key, like, doesn't matter if I push any other key on the keyboards, it's only when I push the up, down, left and right. So maybe that's something I can do. And they can be hidden at the same time. But let's change that button there. And I think if I'm happy with the way this looks, I can then copy it over to the other level. And I should be happy that it's doing it what I need it to do. Let's quickly get Photoshop open. Has it finished loading? Ah, there we go. Button. Cool. That's on hints. Let's. Can we duplicate the layer? Duplicate layer. There we go. Let's call this show controls. Could make it slightly smaller, I suppose. Might be able to get away with that. Let's save that project and then export. Where's the buttons? Oh, there they are. So button underscore and then the name. Cool, okay. Cool, it's in here, let's drag that in. Right, there we go, that's what I wanted. Save. Awesome. So I could probably do with the sort of graphics showing the keys above here. Okay, let's quickly find some key graphics I can borrow. So it wants an AD and spacebar. Right, so now I've got this graphic that's stick it into Photoshop. I could make this myself, but feeling lazy. Dog walking time, okie dokie. See you shortly. Yes, be right back, okie dokie. Let's get a new layer in here. It's key A, key D. Close that project for now. Now I feel this spacebar, well, within the dimensions of an actual keyboard, it's too big for our purposes. So probably something like that. Yeah, something along those lines. We can probably lose that there now. Don't need that. That looks a bit better. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's try export as PNG. Why is that going to there now? Very odd that it decided to change where I'm exporting to. Oh well, okay, we'll manually go to it. Okay. Let's change these all to sprites. One thing I do like about Unity 6 is that it automatically assumes it is a sprite, and it's up to you to change it otherwise. Which makes better sense, to be honest. Game controls, that's what we want. So as an UI element, image. Button A. Let's make sure this lines up. It's about the right sort of size, I suppose. Probably needs to be a little bit smaller. Let me scale that a little bit. Scale, there we are. Well, that's 0.75. Duplicate that. Let's rename that as D. Let's change the sprite to the D button. And we'll duplicate that one. Rename that to button space. Um, I'm guessing I'm probably going to have to just change the width of it. There's probably better ways of doing this, but we'll do it this way for now. Let's see how that looks. Possibly need to check if it's what the controls are going to be now, because if you are using on-screen controls and you don't have a keyboard plugged in, it's going to be pointless going, well, I don't care about what the keyboard controls is, I don't have a keyboard. So I will need to work that one out. But I'm happy with that otherwise. Where's the prefabs? UI prefabs, there we go. Drag that entire canvas down as a prefab. Let's go to scenes, and we're going to save that. Open level 2. Canvas, cool. Now I just want to quickly check these things don't actually link in. Don't think they do. Check our lock status. No, that's not been linked. There's something I could really do with changing on this as well, which is I've gone for the cheap, easy way out by putting the camera inside something else. Now the camera should always be on the outside, really. It should be kind of part of the main hierarchy, and then kind of work with where it's attached. But that's something I can check out and work with later. It's because everything here is very much tied together anyway. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Well, I'll delete this canvas and see if it will run without it. Awesome. Let's go to the prefabs UI. Let's put a UI now. Hit save. And go run. So that's not automatically connected. Okay, projectiles. Options, of course. Oh, I broke it with options. Sound volume get BG, so sound volume's there. Ah, okay. Sound volume there, okay. So options menu is expecting a sound volume. So options menu. Okay, yeah. So now, how pedantic and kind of so I suppose what it should probably do is look for these objects. So sound effects and BMG, it should look for SFX. BMG, should we have a type of BMG, I suppose? Yeah, because we got sound effects there, so let's go BMG. Type BMG as BMG. Now what I should really do is look for those objects. Subject sound volume. So it's got sound volume already in there. So sound volume, get sound volume. Might not even be here. So that's public flow, so that's sound volume itself. Get volume. What's the issue there then? Oh, because it's probably BMG and sound effects, so it can't set it. Okay, let's rerun this again. We'll close some of these up. So I'm quite happy with these. Getting further and further. Nice. Character dialogue. We'll come back to that another day. So it's between these things we're looking at the moment then. So two things that's not actually loaded is because slider BMG slider SFX is part of that object. Sound volume is so options there. Sound volume is a scriptable object, so that's fine. So it might just be trying to find those. Okay, let's go save and run it again. I'll double check the error code. Object reference not set to an instance of object. Set BMG volume. Ever seen Whitechapel live? I don't think I have, no. Not that I can recall. Disappoints me. That is... Oh, there. That is the thing. It confused me there. I'm sure it's highlighting up here. So let's do if... It's not what I wanted, but we'll work with that. So if... If BMG... If BMG null. By far best deathcore band there is. Bands like Lorna Shore, and you know I like Lorna Shore, dwarf compared to them. Oh. That's not, is it? Yeah, it should be BMG. Oh, BGM. I call it the wrong thing. BGM. Background music, yeah. Let's change that, because it's not BMG. It's not back music ground. Background music. Yeah, so if it is null, then grab it and set it to there. And do the same for the sound effects. If SFX, if sound effects, there we go, If sound effects null, then sound effects SFX sound effects. Let's go save. Save again. See if this works now. Options. Oh no. 35. So BMG is already in there, that should be fine. So line 35. So if it's null, then it should have tagged it. Okay, we'll monitor this. So that should, on startup, it should assign it. So it's not done it there. It's not finding it. Okay. Oh, because I've got the wrong tag. Can I change the tag? Oh, that'd be annoying. Okay, so I misspelled it. It's a BMG. Let's go into the code then. So yeah, BMG. That's the tag it's looking for. BMG. That is tagged with BMG. And it's the BGM script it's trying to pull. BGM. 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 Okay, let's do a debug.log. BGM is null. If that's not null, a little bit of error handling there. So it's not null, then set. And do the same here. So in theory that should stop it from crashing. Won't fix the issue, but it'll stop it from crashing. So let's see how this works. Ah. So it must be trying to set it before it's loaded. Okay, that kind of... Awesome. So that works. So yeah, it was probably trying to set the volume before it knew where the volume needed to be set. That's okay. We can remove the sill. So these must be being called prior to the start then, I suppose. Okay, we'll leave it like that. That works. It won't do it unless it's been set, and it'll be set at that point. What I could do is that I could put this thing in there as well, but it's going to do the check every time. Yeah, we'll leave that like that. So we're happy with that, doesn't break. Let's do some more testing. Because if I can make it truly independent, so that I don't need to manually link anything, just have the code looking for other components. So main menu loads fine. I knew there's not going to be issues with main menu because it's just loading into a scene. Projectiles, that we know works. Hints, we know that works. And that works. So I think I've successfully, for the most part, this isn't, the power slider isn't linking up. So we'll have to look at that. Let's have a look at the power slider. Your options is fine. Power meter. So power slider and UI controls. So is it UI controls that is missing something? No, that has everything. Okay, let's look at let's go to the keyboard controls. So when power key held, high controls, yes. If power key held or power button held, move vertical move up, angle up. So let's have a look at vertical move up. So power up, transform position. So that's the reticle has the power slider. We missed something then. So somehow we missed something. Okay, so the reticle is over here. That is under the camera pivot, there it is. Vertical target. Power slider values. Am I looking at the right thing there? Vertical power slider values. Okay, that's fine. And power up. So that sets the power slider values up. So is it missing the power slider value? Ah, I know. I had this in the back of my mind, but I need to change these values here. So that's got power slider values 1. And medals level 1. So this will have to be changed each time. Unless I try and make this smart. I don't know how I'm going to make this smart. Let's go to scriptable objects. Because I would have to load these into a scriptable object of its own. And then have that loaded in here instead. So power and award times would have to pull from a third object, which will have all of the objects listed. So for now, let's do it manually. So medals level 2, power slider level 2. And go save. So those two things I have to manually change from the default. So the default is level 1. So if for each level I make, I have to make a new medals. I suppose it's in here as well, isn't it? So I have to make sure that is the same. That could be awkward. So I can leave it open to have a bug. Is when these things here don't share them. So power slider values, medal values I don't think is used anywhere else. So yeah, that's something I would have to remember each time, or if I was smart about it, I can try and get it so I set it up centrally, and then the code just starts off with power level 1, and then we'll go, which level am I? Oh, I am level 2. Let's load level 2 settings. And I would have to have a list of all the settings for every level. Okay, I'll have to think about how I want to do that. Let's test the level again. There we go, we've got a slider. Nice. Yeah, I've got to implement a point system, I reckon. Because there's so many things you can do which should give you a bonus. Like if you're able to like hit 4 trees in a row or from one shot, that should give the player something. And I should set the trees up so you can do that. That should give the player something. That being able to get the ball to bounce off the tree multiple times, that should be rewarded, I think. And it gives you something else to do other than just hit the building. It's like, oh, can I get a hidden bonus for hitting the fountain? And stuff like that. Okay. So I'm pretty happy that I've created a detachable UI. I do have to think if I want to automate loading each level's settings. If I'm going to do that, I have to create a place to store that. But if that's the only things is making sure reticle target has the right level on it and UI controls has the right level. But I feel that that could leave it open too much for issues. The alternative as like a middle ground is that reticle target looks for UI controls. So it goes, can I find the UIC? Once it finds it, then steals whatever value is here. So I only have to update here. That could be a way so that I only change it here each time rather than having to find two places to change it. That would be better without having to store them centrally. And whatever this is whatever that is. So that feels probably better. Let's have a look at that. So reticle script. Let's find the reticle script. So we could do with having a start function. Yeah, kind of most of the way there. Now this will have to do a similar thing as to what I had before, where it needs to check to see if the UI is there. What was that on? Can't remember which script that was on now. Let's open up keyboard controls again. You can probably find it from here. High controls, that was what it was, wasn't it? Down here, yes. It was down here. Let's get rid of some of that wasted space there. Copy that. So try and get components, and then so we want to then set that here. So probably want it to return. So that's going to be power equals that. Delete that because we don't need that. Let's go to UI controls. Power slider values is that. Power slider values, yeah, so that will, when it starts up, it will grab that. So it doesn't matter what it's defaulted to, it will set it to whatever those controls are, if there is a UI, for whatever reason there isn't a UI. So what I could do, I go none, so there's no slider there, go save, and that should load one in. Vertical set to bottom. Oh, the rock launch comes in. Ah. Okay, let's do it the other way I was thinking before. So create a new function. Private void get power slider values, and drop that one in there. So we can put that in startup. So we'll do that anyway. And then go if power is null, get power slider values. And we can put that in here as well. So that's just kind of handles errors and corrects itself if need to be. Oh, exit play mode. Right, so it still says nothing down there. Let's run it and it should load it in. Yes, there we go. Pull that in. So I can leave this blank now. As long as UI controls has one, it will pull one in. Now the problem would occur if there's no UI and it's not been set, it will crash. But there's never not going to be a UI. If there isn't a UI, there's something far worse going on. The point of checking for not having a UI is mainly to know that I can run the game of it without the UI and I don't have to worry about connections or kind of spaghetti processes. So we should be good on that. So we're happy the sound can be found. The controls are connecting up. So I could default that to level 1 slider anyway. But I think, other than that, I think I'm at a point now. Let's have a quick check at the. Let's look at the other recommendations from Cobbler. So yeah, we've abandoned the sound effects on the trebuchet rotating because I think that's just too much. Damage display show the amount of damage dealt directly on the affected block. So each block only has 1 hit point. So, and if you consider the amount of damage to the entire building, maybe when you hit a block, it kind of just comes up with a number like 1, or if you hit 2 blocks, it comes up with 2. Just say, hey, you've hit 2 blocks. So that could be like a nice little visual, like you've hit a block, you've hit this many blocks, like two will come up on the screen, or 3, or like, or you hit 4 in one go, that's extra bonus points. So that's something to consider. Impact sound effect variety. So I need to look at more sound effects for like impact. So it's not just one rock cracking sound effect. It's multiple. So yeah, bank shot bonus. So we need to implement a points system for that. Through shot bonus for granted for points projectiles through holes. Again, we need a system for that. Hidden controls, we've done that. Hint, when projectile hits the wall, the player clicks hints, damage is not. Don't know about that one. When the projectile hits the wall and the player clicks hints, the damage does not register. Might have to check that one. Balance limitations, hint usage costs. Using hints cost points. So I'm thinking with the, rather than having a cost of the hints, because I wanted to make it as easy to kind of complete the levels. I don't want it to be frustrating, because before I made the hint system, it was frustrating at times not knowing where the last few were. So I think if I change it so the hints button is only usable after 90% of the squares have been hit. And you go, well, you've got 10% left, you can use the hints now. So you're not just doing hints from the get-go. So I can do that. Tree collision sound effects I've done. Projectile unlock cost. So yeah, if I implement a point system, I can put a cost value to the projectiles to unlock them. Guide limitation. So guide limitation suggesting the dotted line. So this dotted line here telling you which direction it's actually going to be launching. So that line there, you can kind of line up and look Okay, we'll do it there. It's going to be roughly in the middle of those crates. So maybe I can have it as a optional thing. So you can turn it off in the settings, or have it as a accessibility option to have it not disappear. So the suggestion is it's there for the first couple of shots and then it disappears for you to carry on once you understood where it's going to fire. But yeah, certainly I think I'll look at like accessibility options. So you can keep the line on to help you, or have it automatically turn off after a couple of shots. So I think I could do that. So what we're looking at is a points system, ways to gather the points, possibly something on the screen to tell you how many squares you've hit in one go, bonuses for hitting multiple squares, and so bonuses for hitting other things like trees and whatnot. Yeah, only allowing the hints to be accessible after you've done most of it, I suppose, and have the guide automatically disappear unless you turn on the accessibility options. So we might be able to do the hints quickly before the end of the stream. So let's have a the good thing is now I've done this universal UI is all I have to do is change it once here and it's changed for all the levels. So that's what I was aiming for, is that it doesn't matter what I do now, all levels will be updated at the same time. So have a look, so this hints button, I could probably do with swapping out the image so it's greyed out and then becomes active. So that's the easiest way to do it. So the code behind hints, so UI controls show hints, UI controls, show hints, there we go. So I'm going to do a count of what how many is left, workout calculation as a percentage. So it's always going to run the function, it's just not going to do the code in the function. So do we have anything already doing something we can use? We're putting the squares here, so hit grid square, I suppose we kind of want the score, don't we? Do we have the score here? Game values, yes. So we got GV. So I could probably put something in game values, couldn't I? Game values is a scriptable object. Game values. So you got squares hit, square count. So I come back to function here. So if square hits, so the count is the total, the hit is how many's been hit. Let's write a function down here. Public boolean, because we want to be able to return a true or false. Hints active. And let's go bool hints, which equals false by default, and return hints. So to find out whether it's true or false, it is these two values here. So we want to do a little bit of maths. So it's hits divided by, let's get my calculator out. Remind myself of the maths. So if I have hit 8 out of 10, that's 80%. Yeah, so it is what I've hit divided by how many I've got to hit. So that divided by that. So if that divided by that is greater than 0.8f, now they are oh well, they are, they're ints, so I need to change them to floats really. So we treat them like a float. So we're saying if that is equal to, if that is greater than 0.8, then you want the hints to be true. So hints active. So that is going to be used in UI controls. Put an if in here. So if gv dot hints active, then do the rest of this. Save that. So that's just natively in the code. I don't need to change anything just here yet. All I need to do is change that button to be ungrayed out or grayed out depending on the value of that. So let's run the game. In theory I can't hit the button and show hints. Yeah, I can click it but there's no hints yet. Let's load up. Whitechapel is amazing. Let's load up level 1 because it's going to be easy to test. And once we've tested this, we'll sign off. Scenes. Put in level 1. So hints doesn't work yet. So what is going to be 80% of 120? Let's do a quick check. At least 100. And 98 maybe. Yeah, about 97. So we need to hit 97 of these. And then the hints will be active. I'm going to change this model to be a little bit nicer. So this first level was slightly different when I finished it. And of course level 2 will be slightly different. These are mainly for testing these levels. Hint still doesn't work yet. Good. Need another 30 hits. Still not working yet. Still not working yet. Still not working yet. 94, not working yet. 97, it works. Cool, okay. Yeah, so at approximately 80% at the moment. Probably should change that to 90%. But I know in principle it works, and I can change percentages. Yeah, still looks cool. Awesome. So next time I'll work out graying out the hints button to inform the player that they can't use the hints yet. And then once they've done the required percentage of hits, they can use it. At least the code of the file itself is fine, but now we need to host it. Getting some problems, but I'll definitely fix it tomorrow. Cool, okay. Well done, you've done a good job. I certainly don't think I could have helped you more than you've already worked out. You're working in unknown grounds as far as I'm aware. Well, from my knowledge anyway. It's something I would probably looked at eventually, but it's not something I am currently invested in working out for my own purposes. But as I say, I'll probably be asking you questions on how to do it. But I'm happy with that. So I'm going to switch over. There's no point. No point in switching over to any screen because you can't see me. The camera's not working. But yeah, I'm going to wrap the stream up here and get some rest. Now I'll think about some of the other things. I'll probably actually write down some of the things that I would like to do with this now because I've not actually written anything down. Hey Cobbler, how's it going? Just in time. Panda. Yeah, we've been working through your suggestions, Cobbler. Oh, I came late, yeah. Yeah, what I'll do, I'll stop this and restart it. Let's, oops. I'll quickly show you what the game looks like. We've been working through some of your suggestions. There's the controls now hide. We have a show control button. You can either use the on-screen and they stay, or you use your keys and they hide. So we've got that in there. The trees make a sound now. I saw you were streaming, got distracted by my friend's PC to format. That's fair. That's a worthy job to get distracted by. So yeah, so the trees make a sound now. It's well, the hedges don't. Probably need to have like a rustly sound for the hedge. If I can get, oh, I think it was on the other level. Nice poor trees. Oh. Yeah, on level 2, I can actually get the rock to bounce off of the top of the tree. So it kind of that goes crack, 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 and then so that's quite cool. I've not put a sound effect on the turning because everything I tried, it sounded awful. So I kind of left that one. And yeah, the hints don't work until after you've done a percentage. Maybe sound like when you hit the leaf. Yeah. Sound cool. Awesome. But yeah, hints, I've just literally changed it so the hints won't work until you've completed so much of the building. I just need to change it so the UI shows that. So yeah, you can't use the hints until you've done like most of it. Because it'd be like, ah, there's one more left. But there's no point having the hints at this point because you can clearly see there's a lot of space to hit. And I like the bonus points. I need to make a system for that. There's no system in place for adding points. Because the hits at the top left there is literally just a percentage as opposed to a real point system. So once you hit 120, you've completed the level. But yeah, we're getting there. We've made some progress. I've done some kind of tidying up of the game structure to make it easier to work with. So that's been most of my job. I've tidied up the spaghetti. So because of that, it's taken a little bit longer, but we're getting there. It's good suggestions. But I'm very happy with this. Exciting, yeah. I've finally made the UI a standardized object because it was separate per level and that's just not great. So the UI is just the UI. No matter which level you load, it is the same UI. So that's basically what I've been doing. I've been making this a single entity and not unique per level, which is very messy. Yeah, so that's mainly what we've been up to. So not a lot has changed, but we've implemented a few of the suggestions already, and we'll carry on with those next time. But yeah, I was literally about to sign off, so it was good to see you before I signed off, and I was able to show you some of your suggestions in practice. Speak to you Monday, right? Yes, because I am going out for a Thai curry this Friday, so no stream on Friday, as I'll be sat down eating a lovely Thai green curry.
Epic!
Epic indeed. Love a Thai green curry. Yep, catch you on the next one. Yes, thank you for dropping in, Cobbler. It's always good to see you. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you, everyone who's been lurking as well. You've all been awesome. Hopefully my camera works next time. The camera's on. I can see the light on the camera. But OBS goes, what camera? I don't see any cameras. So you have my bobbing head for now. Burger. That looks a tasty burger. Cool, thanks for joining us. I'm going to sign off and get some rest. Hope you have a good night, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll be back on Monday with the gang doing awesome co-op chill stuff. So I'll see you then. Hope you have a good night. Good night.